Close your eyes. Let the world you have been carrying all day begin to set itself down. The thoughts, the lists, the things left undone, and the things done badly, and the things you are still turning over in your mind. Let them soften for now. Let them wait. They will be there when you need them. But right now, they can rest. Take a slow breath in and let it go. We are going somewhere tonight. Somewhere old and warm and quiet. Somewhere that has been waiting for you for a very long time. It is the year 100 AD. The city of Rome. Picture it slowly. Not all at once, but piece by piece. The way a place reveals itself when you arrive somewhere new and stand still long enough to really look. The streets are made of large, flat stones, dark gray, worn smooth by centuries of feet and cartwheels. Between the stones, thin lines of shadow. The stones hold the warmth of the day even now, hours after the sun has gone. If you pressed your palm flat against them, you would feel it. That stored heat, radiating upward like a long, slow breath. The buildings on either side of the street are tall and close together. Their walls are painted in faded colors. Terracotta red, warm ochre yellow, a dusty blue that has been bleaching in the sun for years. At the upper floors, small windows. Most are shuttered now, but a few glow faintly with the amber light of oil lamps burning inside. Someone still awake. Someone reading, perhaps. Someone who cannot sleep. You are walking through the city at night, and the city is quieter than it was an hour ago. Not silent. Rome is never silent, but quieter. The market stalls are packed away. The street vendors are gone. The arguments and negotiations that fill the daylight hours have wound themselves down into something softer. A murmur rather than a roar. Somewhere ahead, a cat moves across the road and disappears into a gap in the wall. It does not look at you. Cats in Rome never look at you. They have always been here longer than you have, and they know it. The smell of the city at night is different from the day. Less sharp. The heat of the afternoon used to carry everything upward. Bread and fish and smoke and all the warm, complicated smells of thousands of people living closely together. Now the air is cooler and the smells have settled. What remains is stone and dust, and somewhere, faintly, the green smell of water. That smell of water is where you are going. You turn a corner, and there it is. The bathhouse. It is larger than it looks from the street. From outside, it is simply a long, pale wall with a broad, arched entrance and 2 torches burning on either side. But you know what is inside. You have been coming here for years. You know the way the space opens up once you pass through the arch, the way the ceiling rises, and the warmth reaches out to meet you, and the sound of water becomes something constant and low and deeply reassuring. The torches cast a warm circle of light on the stone road outside the entrance. You step into that circle of light and pause for a moment. The night air is cool on your face. Inside will be warm. That contrast, the cool outside and the warmth waiting within, is part of what you love about this place. The moment just before you enter. The knowledge of what is coming. You breathe the night air in one last time. And then you step inside. The man at the entrance is called Titus. You do not know his full name. You have never asked. But you have seen him here every time you have come, in every season, in every kind of weather, always in the same position, just inside the arch, always with the same expression of calm, unhurried attention. He is an older man. His hair is white and close cropped. His face has the quality of someone who has spent many years watching people come and go without judgment. People arrive here tense and preoccupied, and they leave loose and quiet. And Titus has seen this transformation happen thousands of times. He knows what this place does to people. He is part of it. He glances at you, nods once. A small gesture toward the inner door. That is all. You are known here. You belong here. You can go in. The apoditarium, the changing room, is the first room you enter, and it is a room that asks you to begin letting go. Not of your clothes only, though that too, but of the version of yourself you have been wearing all day. The one that has appointments and obligations and a name that other people use when they want something from you. The room is long and narrow. The walls are lined with wooden shelves and small alcoves, each one numbered with a painted numeral in faded red. At this hour, most are empty. A pair of sandals sits in alcove 7. A neatly folded wool cloak in alcove 12. The belongings of other late visitors somewhere ahead of you in the warm rooms beyond. A single oil lamp burns on a bracket near the door. It is a simple clay lamp, the kind you can buy at any market for almost nothing, but the flame it produces is steady and warm and just bright enough to see by without demanding your attention. It is a lamp that knows its purpose. The floor beneath your feet is cool stone, smooth. The smoothness of very old things that have been touched by many hands and many feet over a very long time. There is something comforting in that smoothness. Something that says, others have stood here. Others have set their things down here. Others have taken a breath in this room and let the day begin to fall away. You are not the first. You will not be the last. You choose an alcove near the lamp. You set your things down carefully, folding each item with a slowness that is deliberate. Not because the folding matters, but because the act of moving slowly is itself a signal to your body. We are not hurrying anymore. We are not rushing toward anything. We are here in this moment, and there is nowhere else to be. You wrap a linen cloth around yourself. It is soft and slightly worn, the weave loosened by many washings. It smells of clean water and something faintly herbal. Lavender, perhaps, or rosemary. Something that grows in the hills outside the city. You are ready. You move toward the inner door. The warmth is already noticeable, seeping through the doorway like something alive, like an invitation. You push the door open, and the baths receive you. The frigidarium is the first of the 3 bathing rooms, and it is the coolest, though cool here does not mean cold. It means the temperature of a deep stone cellar in summer. The temperature of a river in early morning, before the sun has had time to warm it. Not unpleasant, never unpleasant. Just clean and clear and slightly bracing in a way that makes you feel more present, more fully inside your own skin. The room is larger than the changing room. Much larger. The ceiling rises high overhead, supported by thick stone columns that stand in pairs along both sides of the space. Between the columns, the walls are painted in deep blues and soft greens, the colors of water, of sea, of the sky just after sunset. The paint is old, and the colors have deepened with age, darkened by years of lamp smoke, and the effect is of standing inside something oceanic, something vast and gentle. At the center of the room is the cold pool. It is a large, rectangular basin sunk into the floor, its edges flush with the surrounding stone. The water in it is still and very clear. You can see the bottom, a geometric mosaic of small tiles in blue and white and terracotta, depicting fish and waves and the occasional sea creature. Whoever laid those tiles had a sense of humor. The lamplight from the walls falls across the surface of the water in long, trembling reflections. Amber and gold, and a pale, wavering orange. The reflections shift whenever the air stirs, whenever someone walks past, whenever a door opens and closes in another room. The pool breathes. The light breathes with it. There is one other person in this room. A woman, perhaps 50, sitting at the far edge of the pool, with her feet in the water and her eyes closed, and an expression on her face of such complete, undisturbed peace that she might almost be asleep. She does not move when you enter. She does not open her eyes. She is entirely somewhere else, somewhere inside herself, and you do not disturb her. You sit at the opposite edge of the pool. The stone rim is cool and smooth beneath you. You lower your feet slowly into the water. It is colder than you expected. Not painfully cold, but enough to make you catch your breath slightly, to bring your full attention into your feet and ankles as the temperature settles around them. You sit with that sensation for a moment. You let your body adjust. The cold moves up through your calves. Your breathing slows. Somewhere in the room, water drips. A single drop at a time, falling from somewhere high above. Each drop hits the surface of the pool and makes a small, perfect circle that expands outward and then disappears. One drop. Silence. Another drop. Silence. A rhythm so slow, it barely qualifies as a rhythm. More like punctuation. A reminder that time is passing, gently, without urgency. You look up at the ceiling. Along the upper edges of the walls, a painted frieze runs the entire perimeter of the room. A procession of figures in pale robes, moving slowly from left to right in an endless, unhurried procession. Their faces are worn smooth by time. But there is something in the gentle forward lean of their posture that suggests they are not in a hurry. That wherever they are going, it is somewhere good. Somewhere worth walking toward slowly. You lower yourself fully into the water. Slowly. Inch by inch. The cold closes around you, and you breathe through it. Long, slow breaths. And after a moment, the cold becomes something else. It becomes clarity. The feeling of being very precisely where you are, in this water, in this room, in this night, with nothing between you and the present moment. You float on your back. The water holds you with a completeness that feels almost intentional, almost kind. Your ears go below the surface, and the sounds of the room change. The dripping water becomes a deep, resonant thud. The distant sounds of the city become a low hum, formless and far away. Your own heartbeat becomes audible, slow and steady, a sound you rarely hear. You stare up at the ceiling, and you breathe, and you float, and the cold pool holds you as if it has been waiting to do exactly this. You climb the steps out of the cold pool slowly, and the air meets your skin like a gentle welcome. You wrap yourself in the linen cloth again and stand for a moment, dripping, breathing, feeling the particular aliveness that cold water produces in a body. That tingling awareness of skin, that sense of being very cleanly defined at your own edges. There is a corridor that leads from the frigidarium to the next room. It is narrow, lit by a single, small lamp, set into a niche in the wall halfway along. Walking the corridor is like moving through a series of small thresholds, each one a little warmer, a little softer, a little further from the city outside. The door at the end of the corridor is heavier than the others. When it opens, the warmth comes out to meet you. Not the warmth of a fire, not sharp or directional, but the warmth of a room that has been holding heat for hours, saturated with it, offering it evenly from every surface at once. This is the tepidarium, the warm room. It is smaller than the cool room, and it feels more intimate for it. The ceiling is lower here. The walls are faced in terracotta tile that has absorbed so much heat over so many years that it radiates warmth the way a person radiates warmth when you sit close to them. Steady, living, generous. The room is lit by several lamps, and the combined light is golden and even, with no strong shadows anywhere. Everything in this room is the same temperature of light, the same shade of amber and warmth. It is a room that has arrived at something like visual peace. Along the walls, there are stone benches, each one padded with folded linen. You choose a bench along the left wall, near a small decorative fountain that produces a continuous thread of warm water from the mouth of a stone lion into a shallow basin below. The sound of it is very soft, barely a sound at all, more like the memory of water than water itself. You sit down. The warmth from the tile wall behind you presses gently against your back. There are two other people in this room. An older man at the far end, his eyes closed, his breathing so slow and deep he might be asleep. And a younger man near the fountain, sitting with his elbows on his knees and his gaze fixed on the middle distance, with the expression of someone whose thoughts have finally begun to slow down. You do not know either of them. You will never know their names. But you share this room with them, this warmth, this quiet, this particular hour of the night when the world has released its grip slightly and something more essential is allowed to surface. There is a fellowship in this that requires no introduction, no conversation, no acknowledgement even. You are simply here together in the warm room at night, resting. The heat begins to work. You can feel it moving into the muscles of your shoulders, which have been carrying tension all day in a way you had stopped noticing. The shoulders soften. Not all at once. The way ice softens at the edges first, imperceptibly at first, and then, more noticeably, the structure beginning to give. Your jaw unclenches. You had not known it was clenched. Your hands, resting open on your thighs, feel heavier. Not with fatigue, but with something closer to settledness. The settled weight of a body that has remembered it does not need to be ready for anything right now. That it can simply be here. That here is enough. The man near the fountain closes his eyes. The fountain continues its soft thread of water into the basin. The warm room holds you all. The caldarium is at the heart of the building, and it is the room that the whole structure is built around. Beneath the floor, a system of channels and chambers carries hot air from the furnaces at the building's edge, and this room sits directly above the hottest point. The floor here is warmer than any other floor in the building. You can feel it through the soles of your feet. A deep, radiating warmth that comes from below, from the earth itself. The air in the caldarium is thick with steam. Not uncomfortable, never uncomfortable once your body has adjusted, but dense and soft, like breathing through warm cloth. It coats your skin immediately. It fills your lungs with warmth. It makes everything slightly indistinct, slightly softened at the edges, as if the room itself is dreaming. The walls here are faced in white marble that has taken on a faint pink blush from years of heat. The marble sweats gently, fine droplets forming on its surface and running in thin rivulets down to the floor. In the lamplight, this gives the walls the appearance of something living, something breathing, and you have always found this beautiful rather than strange. The lamps in this room are set behind panels of thin alabaster stone mounted in the walls, and the light comes through diffused and warm and soft, without edges or directionality. There are no sharp shadows in this room. Everything is lit equally, as if the light itself is part of the steam, suspended in the air, belonging to no single source. At the center of the room, the large, hot pool. You approach it slowly. The marble rim is warm beneath your hands as you steady yourself at the edge and look down into the water. It is very still, the surface broken only by the faintest circulation from somewhere below. The steam rises from it in soft, slow columns that drift upward and disperse before they reach the ceiling. You lower yourself in. The heat is total. It moves through you the way music moves through a room, not touching you at one point, but filling everything at once, finding the spaces between things, reaching the places that ordinary warmth cannot reach. The back of your neck, the space between your shoulders, the long muscles along either side of your spine that carry so much and are thanked so rarely. You lean your head back against the marble rim of the pool. Above you, high in the ceiling, a circular opening in the stone. Through it, you can see a perfect circle of night sky, very dark blue, almost black. A single star is visible through it, very bright, perfectly centered, as if placed there with great care. You watch the star. The steam drifts across your view of it, and for a moment, the star blurs and softens, and then the steam moves on, and it is sharp again. Clear, unwavering. A star that has been burning for longer than Rome has existed, longer than the Latin language, longer than memory. A star that will still be burning long after all of this. The marble, the lamplight, the warm water, the sound of other people breathing in the steam has returned to dust. This thought does not make you feel small. It makes you feel held. Part of something so vast and so patient that your worries, which felt so large this morning, reveal themselves for what they are. Temporary, specific, soluble. The kind of things that look different after a night's sleep. The hot water moves around you, almost imperceptibly. Your breathing has slowed to something very deep and very regular. In through the nose, warm steam filling the lungs. Out through the mouth, slow and complete. The rhythm your body has been trying to return to all day. Somewhere in the steam, someone makes a small sound. A sigh, perhaps. Or just a breath released more fully than usual. The sound of a body giving something up. The star holds still in its circle of sky. The water holds you. You close your eyes. After a long while, you move to the side of the room, where a raised stone slab sits against the wall. The surface of it is smooth and warm, worn to a near polish in the center by years of use. You lie down on your front. The warm stone receives you. An attendant appears. He is young, with the quiet efficiency of someone who has learned his work well and takes a quiet pride in it. He carries a small clay vessel of oil. He removes the stopper and pours a small measure into his palm, then holds both palms together for a moment, warming the oil between his hands before it touches your skin. This small gesture, warming the oil first, is something you have noticed every time you have come here. It is not required. It would be easier not to bother. But someone, at some point, decided that cold oil on warm skin was not acceptable. That the people who came here deserved better than that small, unnecessary shock. And so it is warmed. Every time. Without comment. The smell of the oil reaches you before his hands do. Olive oil as the base, warm and slightly grassy. And beneath that, something herbal. Cedar, perhaps, or juniper. Something that smells the way ancient forests must smell, where the air is clean and the trees are very old and the ground is soft with centuries of fallen leaves. His hands begin to move across your back. He works slowly. He works without conversation. There is a knowledge in his hands that is entirely physical, learned through repetition, through the specific education of touch. He finds the places where the tension lives, and he does not force them. He simply stays. He applies a steady, patient pressure, and he waits for the muscle to decide, in its own time, to give. And slowly, it does. The oil is warm on your skin. The stone is warm beneath you. The room is warm around you. You are held on all sides by warmth, by the particular safety of a place that has been designed over centuries with the single purpose of making a human body feel cared for. Your mind, which has been quieter since you entered the hot pool, becomes quieter still. The thoughts that remain are no longer sharp or insistent. They drift through without catching on anything. They pass. Outside, Rome continues its night. The cart wheels on the stone roads. The distant bark of a dog. The river moving as it always moves, slow and indifferent, carrying the city's reflection on its surface toward the sea. But those sounds, by the time they reach you here, have been transformed by distance and stone and steam into something that no longer belongs to the city at all. They are simply sound. Simply the texture of the world, continuing on while you rest inside it. The attendant finishes. He sets the vessel of oil down carefully. He withdraws without sound. You lie still. The warmth from the stone rises through you. You have nowhere to be. There is nothing left to do tonight. You breathe. There is a room at the far end of the building that most people never find. It is not hidden exactly. It is simply small and set back from the main corridor, and easy to pass if you are not paying attention. But you have been coming here long enough to know it is there, and tonight you find yourself drawn toward it. The room is perhaps 4 steps wide and 6 steps long. The ceiling is low enough that you could reach up and touch it. The walls are plain white plaster, slightly yellowed from years of lamp smoke, with no paintings or decoration of any kind. There is one small lamp on a bracket near the door, burning very low. 2 stone benches along the walls. That is all. It is the simplest room in the building. It is also the most peaceful. You think it is the simplicity itself that does it. The absence of things to look at. The absence of beauty demanding to be noticed, or complexity asking to be understood. Just walls. Just stone. Just the low, warm light and the sound of the rest of the baths carrying through the walls as a soft, indistinct murmur, like a distant conversation in a language you do not speak, but find soothing nonetheless. You lie down on one of the benches. Someone has left a folded cloth at one end, soft and slightly warm from the room's heat. You fold it into a pillow beneath your head. The ceiling is very close above you. Plain and white and still. You look at it for a moment. Then you stop looking at it. You let your eyes close. The warmth of this place has gone all the way into you now. Into the muscles and the bones and the spaces in between. You are warm in a way that is not the surface warmth of a fire or a blanket, but something deeper. The warmth of having been held for a long time by something that meant it. The sounds of the baths settle around you like a river settling after a stone has been dropped into it. The ripples spreading out and then gone. Your breath is very slow now. In and out. The city is out there, beyond the walls. It will be there in the morning. Your life will be there in the morning. Everything that was waiting for you before you came here will still be waiting, patient and unchanged, ready to be picked up again when you are ready. But that is the morning. And morning is far away. Right now, there is only this room, this warmth, this breath, The lamp on the wall burns very low. The flame is small now, the oil nearly spent, and the light has narrowed to a warm point that barely reaches the corners of the room. The shadows have deepened. The room has become more darkness than light, and you find you do not mind at all. Darkness is not absence. Darkness is the world stepping back to give you room. You are safe here. You are warm. You are held. There is a sound, very faint, very far away, of someone in another room setting down a lamp. The small sound of clay on stone. And then nothing. And then a door closing, gently, somewhere in the building. The baths are nearly empty now. Just you and the stone and the warmth and the last small flame. And outside, the sky above Rome beginning to deepen toward the hour before dawn, when the darkness